What's going on YouTube? It's CV Tsukiyomi, and I got some really sad news. I didn't want it to come down to this at all, but basically I really can't make it to Chicago. It was a last minute thing, and school got in the way. For anyone who knows, like if you do know, when you're starting nursing, things like that happen. Like anything can just pop up in the middle of nowhere, and that's what happens. And I'm more committed to nursing than I am the card game, so I have to respect my instructor, my clinicals. Like you go into clinicals, I have to respect that. And if we have to go Saturday, we have to go Saturday. So there's nothing I can do. I don't want to skip time to miss out on clinicals because it's important. And yeah, so I'm really sorry, guys. I really wish I could meet you. I really, really wanted to. It really would have meant a lot to me if I could meet you. And but there's always next year. And yeah, so maybe not this year, but next year I'll definitely, same thing again. I'll try my best. So, hopefully things like that work out. So, but sorry about that, guys. And but anyways, moving on to this video. So, a lot of times I showed you guys before. I was gonna show you the deck list of the 2011 Tokyo Regional qualifier. Now take note, I said 2011, not 2012, so this is last year's, but basically it plays the cards that are optional for us Royal Paladin players right now. We really don't get much more support in Booster Set 7. We get Alfred Early, but Alfred Early's really not that great of a card. It's okay, but it's so situational, like it's not really worth running. So this is the deck. Like if you guys are trying to build or model a deck like I did, because my deck's only has a few changes compared to what I like, and I'll explain because you guys have watched my video on it. I've given you guys time to watch it and see it, so you know my card choices. So I'm going to go through Yusuke, I think is Yusuke Masuda. He's the 2011 Tokyo Regional Qualifier. It's Tokyo World Qualifier Grand Prix, some random BS. It's a long title. I don't care. Anyways, he won in 2011. It was like Japan Nationals. So, I'll go into this, and this is his deck, card for card. So, we're just gonna go into it really quickly. And yeah, he plays 3 Alfred. I get why. I know why. So 3 is good, and then he runs 2 Soul Saver. He plays 2 Soul Saver because it's an Alfred Soul Saver Dragon deck basically, which is what I run. But yeah, so nothing different here. And then he runs 2 Palamedes. The Palamedes is like a really good card, but I personally run 3. I think the reason why he runs 2 is to make space in the deck, and it makes sense though because in his format he wasn't playing against Gold Paladins, and he wasn't playing against cards like Narukami. He wasn't playing against the better Spike Brother decks. He wasn't playing against Spectral Dunk Dragon. So basically he could basically be allowed to kind of slow roll it. Basically what I mean by that is his pace, he didn't have to move as quick as we do now. For us Royal Paladin players in English, we have to move a little bit quicker than him. So he could wait a few turns to get these, as opposed to now you kind of need them right away. That way you can establish that early pressure. So that early and consistent pressure. But these, I'm pretty sure he was just waiting, and he could pull it off anytime, and he would be perfectly fine. He'd be comfortable about it because there weren't a lot of decks back then that could hit, really big numbers like they do now, so it's a little bit different. But for me, I felt like you gotta play the 3 Palamedes just for that early and constant pressure. Anyways, grade 2s. 2 Blaster Blade, Clutch, like I said, I know why he plays it. Good for late game. It's not very good in the early game, so it's okay. 2 Akane, he plays the Akane to search out, get the free plus, help establish, get some boosters on board. That makes sense. I know why he's playing that. So, easy stuff. And then he plays 3 Gallatin, or no, 2 Gallatin, 2 10Ks. This makes sense to me too, he didn't play Lamorak because it wasn't available at the time. And then he plays 2 Gordon. This makes sense because it's a really good card. A lot of people end up trying to hit this as opposed to the Vanguard, which is always nice. Which is it's kind of like a fail, but It's a good card. It's a nice card to have. It definitely makes your opponent kind of waste resources on some of your dead resources, like the Gordons, so really nice. So I know why he plays this. I personally don't play the Gordons because I just don't feel comfortable with them yet. I know that when they're boosted, they hit for a good number, but sometimes, like when I have the Lamorax, I like to play them early and just get the free swing or get the free plus and then see if my opponent does anything about it. So, yeah. Anyway, so the 2 of those, and then 4 grade 2 Galahad, grade 2. So he's playing that plus, so nice stuff. That's the grade 2 lineup. Give you guys another review so you guys saw it again. I'm going to go on to the grade 1s. He plays 4 flash shields. Now, I didn't really agree with him playing 4, especially in his format. I think 3 was okay in that format because, like I said, there weren't a lot of decks at his time when he used it back in 2011 that were hitting these ridiculously big numbers or applying this really hard constant pressure on you. So I think 4 was a little excessive, but I think he had the same idea as me, or basically you draw into it, you know, you want to be consistent and always have it, it's important. So yeah, good card. And then he plays 3 Pongo. I get this because when you have the 2 Akane, you want to have more targets, because I noticed in my variant that there was like 1 out of 10 games, where I drew both my Pongos before I hit Akane, and then when I had Akane and I could use her skill because I had the counterblast open, I didn't have any targets to use it on. So like I was like, forget it. Like I could see the inconsistency with that. So I feel like that's why he plays 3, just to make sure his Akane is always live. I feel like that's why. So really good, helps set up for Soul Saver, and he finishes the game with Soul Saver, so really good. Then he plays 3 Marin, and Marin in general, really good card. He can search it out with Alfred, so it's pretty good. And yeah, it's 9 with Palamedes, it hits the 21. I can kind of understand why he's playing 3, because like I said, he only has 2 Palamedes, and in that case, like, you know, the Marin's going to be a little bit more consistent when you're getting it, as opposed to the Palamedes. And one thing with the Pongos is they're not stagnant boosters. They don't stay on the board. You can always use them to go inside the soul and search out the Soul Saver. So he always, if when he's using Pongo and then later in the game he realizes I'm going to set up for Soul Saver, get Soul Saver, and then you have space to lay down the Marin. So pretty good stuff. And then he plays 4 of these because it's standard. Because he's trying to get the ride chain. He really wants to get that plus, just like everyone else does. Everyone's trying to work towards getting the same thing, establishing that plus and making sure that, you know, we have that +1 advantage over our opponent. And then your starting Vanguard is Durango. Like I said, he's trying to get that plus. And the trigger lineup's kind of, it's very similar. I'll show you. He plays 4 Epona, Bringer of Good Luck. 4 Alabaster Owl, because they're 5k boosters, and in case you're in a grind match and you need to place down the 5, then it's kind of important. And then he plays 1 Lu, so he's playing 9 critical. The reason why I think he's playing 9 critical is to establish more pressure, and I mean, if he hits this, I mean, his opponent might think, okay, he's probably playing a lot of criticals, which I think is kind of something, but with there only being 1, I don't feel like that was his mindset. I feel like his mindset was just to add in a 9th critical for more pressure. And yeah, basically that's it. I don't really know what else to say about that. And then you know, because Lu's not as good as the other 2, so because you can't run Barkle. And yeah, so 9 critical. I tried 9, and I had good success with 9, to be honest with you, but I feel like if you're trying to set up for Soul Saver, you should be playing more Markles, just in case, just in case. And then he plays 3 Markles, not 4. I personally like 4, but I feel like the reason why he's playing 3 is because with that extra Pongo, you know, he guarantees that 5th Soul, so he can help set up for Soul Saver, so, you know, his extra Pongo, as opposed to my only 2 Pongos, kind of adds up to be the same amount of high beasts, so it makes sense. and then he plays, you know, random 4 heal. So that's Yusuke Masuda, the Japan 2011 Japan national deck. You know, I don't really know him. I've seen the list, and I kind of took it. And I kind of collaborated with a few others. Like I said, I kind of talked to Hero. I talked to like Felix, and I talked to Brandon, and I talked to a few other people. You know, I didn't play the same build as him. I wasn't as comfortable with this build as I am with my own, and you know, nothing wrong with this. I mean, congratulations to him. 2011 Japan Nationals says something. So, yeah, that's the deck, guys. That's all I'm really gonna say. So, yeah, sorry I couldn't go to Chicago, but yeah, sorry. Peace out.